Easter, everybody. Everybody fired? Anybody fired up that it's Easter? Yeah. I'm very excited about it, Easter, because that means it's the end of Lent, you know? And this year for Lent, I decided I'd give up. Just gave up. You know what I mean? Actually, you know what's crazy? I was gonna end up giving up beer, but I'm a big beer drinker, right? I was like, oh, I'm gonna give up beer for Lent this year. And then I thought, you know what would be harder than giving up beer? Actually drinking more beer. So they're getting pretty fucked up for Lent this year. For God, though. It's all for God. You know what I mean? I'm doing it for Jesus. I'm drinking my way right into heaven. You know what I did give up, actually? You know what I gave up? I gave up stalking my ex-girlfriend. That was a court-ordered mandate. They call that a restraining order. Yeah. Not allowed to stalk her anymore. That's actually for the better, to be honest. We were not getting along very good at the end of our relationship. We were arguing constantly. She was telling me I never listened to her, and blah, 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 blah. I don't know what she was babbling on about. She wasn't much of a communicator, you know? We sort of hated each other at the end of our relationship, even during sex. During sex, I hated every bone in her body but my own. You know what I mean? And it's too bad, because she was a really pretty girl. Like a really, really pretty girl. Like I was definitely out kicking my coverage. Like not the type of woman you'd put a brown paper bag over her head while you're having sex with her, you know? Thought about putting a clear plastic bag over her head a few times. Pretty sure that joke explains the restraining order. Pretty sure that's the reason why I got it. So, let's see here. I hail from America. I know William already told you that. Back in America, I'm a TV producer. I work on a lot of reality shows. So I used to work on the Kardashians. You guys are familiar with the Kardashians, right? Crazy. I got to work with Bruce Jenner and Caitlyn Jenner. Bruce is pretty awesome, and then one day he just turned into a bitch. You know, it's fucking wild. Didn't expect that one. Worked on all sorts of shows. I worked on a show called Making the Band with Puff Daddy, now called P. Diddy. That was kind of crazy. This was probably 20 years ago. I was an audio engineer on that, and I used to have to mic him up. And I don't know, I was like right up in his grill, you know what I mean? I was younger, kind of better looking. I'm like, I'm not sure I believe the allegations. Either Puff Daddy's not gay, or I'm feeling a little bit rejected. You know what I mean? Fuck, man. I mean, I thought maybe he just hated white guys, but he seemed to like Justin Bieber, so I guess I got that wrong. I worked on a ton of different reality shows, but mostly as an audio engineer, then I moved into producing later. First of all, I gotta tell you, audio engineers in the television business are not respected. It's the least respected position. Everybody's always like, especially producers, they're always like, fuck sound. Who needs sound? Who cares about sound? And I was like, blind people, you fucking asshole. If you can't see, you love to hear, right? And I wasn't even a good sound guy. I was a terrible sound guy, right? The mark of a good sound guy is to never see the subtitles at the bottom of the screen. That was my signature. That's how I knew I worked on it. Like all my friends back at home thought I just did foreign films. Like I was so bad at sound that they gave me my own font. It's like this big. Like my sound sucked so bad you had to read it. That's how bad I was at sound. I was terrible at it. Not a good sound guy. I worked on, actually, I did sound, you guys are gonna love this one. I did sound on Donald Trump's first presidential campaign. I mean, I did. You can boo me for that. You know, you're never gonna hate me as much as I hate myself. Or you can love me. I'll take that too. I'll pander. I don't care. USA. All right. I like you. Yeah, it did sound, to be honest, I didn't even know I was working on Donald Trump's presidential campaign. At the time, I thought I was just working on another shitty reality show called The Celebrity Apprentice. I had no idea any of this was gonna happen. I did 9 seasons of sound on The Apprentice, and I didn't even get offered a fucking cabinet position. So I feel like I'm the one that really lost the election here, you know? It was crazy. I don't know how you guys feel about Trump, but I was a sound guy, so I used to get paid to listen to Trump. And like I said, I don't know how you feel about his politics, but he's a lot more palatable when you're getting paid a lot of money to listen to him. You know, I think that's pretty much go for anybody. I think, as a matter of fact, if you guys were getting paid a lot of money to listen to me, you might actually fucking laugh. Shit, it was crazy. When I was doing sound on The Apprentice, I just started doing comedy. So I got to meet Joan Rivers, and Joan Rivers gave me a lot of advice on sound. She's like, look, oh, I'm sorry, on comedy. She goes, She goes, look, comedy is a craft that you need to fail, and you need to fail, and you need to fail, and you need to fail. And I was like, Joan, I'm gonna stop you right there. I think I'm gonna be a fucking natural. And Joan was like, yeah, I agree with you, you fucking sound guy. Anyway, a few years ago, I got more into producing, which is a little bit better for me. As soon as I got into producing, first thing I did was started hating sound guys and blind people. I'm just kidding. I like sound guys. I like the sound guys. Shit. I just got here to Bali, I don't know, probably 10 days ago. When I flew over from Bangkok. When I flew over, there was a ton of Americans on my flight. And I was like, oh, cool. I knew we were taking over Canada and Greenland. I didn't know we were taking over this bitch, too. And then I was like, oh, the Australians already got this motherfucker. Yeah. It's crazy. I was like, oh, man, this would be nice. Take over somewhere warm for a change with some bitches, right? No hockey. There's no hockey. No hockey here, I don't think. We got any Americans in the crowd? Oh, okay, right on. The rest of you gonna have to pay us 35% tariff on the way out of here. So, my old boss Trump, he wants the fucking money, you know? That's what the boss said. I can't argue with the boss. I flew over here first class. I don't know if any of you guys fly first class. Judging by the looks of this room, I'm gonna guess that none of you do. That's an insult. I'm insulting everybody. No, they're a lot nicer to you in first class. When had been drinking a little bit, because like I said, I'm kind of a drunk. And the stewardess comes up to me right before the flight. She's like, is there anything I can do to make the flight more comfortable? And I was like, well, I'll take a hand job and some Valium. And this chick slapped me. Hard, too, right before I came. Damn near killed off the effects of the Valium. Oh, shit. Let's see here. What else can I talk to you about? Big gambler. Any gamblers here? Well, the biggest gamble I ever won happened in Nairobi, Kenya, back in 2000. I walked into a casino and subsequently lost $3,000 at the casino. But that same night, I walked out of there with 2 East African women that I proceeded to have unprotected sex with. Now, I'm not sure if you realize what the AIDS situation was around the turn of the century in East Africa, but the fact that I'm alive to tell you the joke today means I won that gamble. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to leave you with this little piece of advice, okay? You guys know what sporks are? A spork? It's not a spoon, it's not a fork, it's somewhere in the middle. It's sort of like the non-binary of silverware, right? Kind of like the trans of dinner utensils. Like, I'm not really sure how a spork identifies, but I want you to think about it next time you have one in your mouth. All right, that's my time. You guys have been super fun. Give it up one more time for Willem.